So far, summer in the Peace region has been scorching. With weeks of hot weather at a time and very little precipitation, weather conditions were prime for forest fires. According to an Environment Canada meteorologist, between June 21st and July 18th, we have had concerningly low levels of rainfall.
We only had 7 millimeters of precipitation in that time frame, and then, of course, the one-day rainfall, 15 millimeters, basically just about doubled that.
And none of the fires sparked by the dry conditions in BC hit so close to home as the Mount McAllister fire near the district of Hudson's Hope. The lightning-caused blaze forced an evacuation alert to be placed on Wednesday, July 18th. During the day, residents were busy getting their things in order in case the evacuation order came down.
Right now, the municipality is just advising residents to be prepared in case an evacuation order is issued. We've closed our campgrounds down currently, and we're just asking that you are prepared so you have all your medications, you have any personal belongings that you want to take with you ready to go. Also, any pets or livestock, get them to a safe place. And we're hoping, obviously, that an order does not come, but should it come, we want to be prepared and ready for this event.
And at 12:45, the order did come down, prompting residents to hit the road to Fort St. John. BC Wildfire Management explains that the fire doubling in size overnight was the reason for the evacuation.
Basically what's happening is that we are seeing extreme fire behavior, and we aren't able to do any direct suppression at this time, but more so looking at opportunities for indirect fire suppression.
In order to deal with the raging fire, BC Wildfire Management sent up their Type 1 response team to start battling the blaze.
Approximately a 20-person team. As far as resources, I'm not sure what they're bringing with them is numbers of firefighters, just in the sense that it's not safe to have firefighters on the ground working it at this time, just due to the fact that we're seeing such extreme fire behavior.
And while all this was happening, the city of Fort St. John was also busy preparing to help the nearly 1,000 Hudson's Hope residents by setting up the Emergency Social Services Center at the North Peace Arena. The District of Taylor was also there to help.
The City of Fort St. John, through the province, asked Taylor's Emergency Social Services team to come and give them a hand at the reception center. We were able to send 6 of our members initially, with a couple more following after they completed their work, up there to help set up the reception center, get people registered, get the referrals, and make sure that the evacuees from Hudson's Hope were well taken care of for the first 72 hours after the evacuation.
Not only were the Emergency Social Services volunteers there to help, so too was the rallying community of Fort St. John, who opened their hearts and homes to displaced residents, something the energetic city's mayor was very proud of.
A huge thanks to all of our staff and volunteers who have come forward to assist our neighbor, Hudson's Hope, in this time of need for them. We have people who have reached out and donated offers of accommodation and food, as well as the donations for the kennels, and the pet food was remarkable.
One local woman who helped out said she couldn't just sit on the sidelines and watch.
I know what the feeling is of displacement and fear of losing everything, and so it was really important. I couldn't just sit here and watch on Facebook or the news to see what was happening. I had to feel it.
Anderson had found herself in a similar situation a number of years ago during a large fire near Kelowna. She says being able to help out even just a few people in a situation she once faced brings her a bit of peace.
It just made me smile to see everybody pulled together in a state of emergency like this, as it did in Kelowna. And I was curious to see how quickly everybody would be able to pull together. And for everybody to pull together like they did in this town, I just want to say thank you to the city, to everybody in the city, and it was wonderful.
Mayor Ackerman echoed her thoughts and wasn't surprised at all to see this outpouring of support.
This has gone on for decades in this community. This community and the people who live here understand that you either work together or you die together. The choice is yours. And if you need a helping hand here, all you have to do is look. There will be a hand there. So it's wonderful to see that this has come out in full force.
Displaced residents were offered housing in hotels and food by the ESS. But some people had issues finding a place to stay because of their pets and not wanting to leave them. And that's where the community really stepped up.
And there was just this one vehicle, a truck sitting there with 3 elderly people and 2 dogs and 2 cats. And they were there, and I was talking to them, and they're like, we don't know what we're going to do. The hotels won't take us with these animals. And so I needed to help them. And I said, just a minute, I'm going to go on Facebook. I'm going to find you a place to stay. And so I got a hold of Megan on Facebook, and I phoned her, and I told her the situation, and she said, yeah, bring them on down. I live in Taylor. Let me talk to them, and I'll meet them halfway.
Luckily, thanks to a mostly rainy day on July 18th, residents of Hudson's Hope were able to return to their homes, but remain under an evacuation alert.
In the Hudson Hope area, actually that was probably the greatest amount of rainfall that fell in the Peace region. We actually recorded about 25.8 millimeters, which was a welcome relief to the firefighting efforts through the area, and I'm sure helped to douse the fire somewhat.
For Around the Peace, I'm Leah Murray.